Embroideries. Some of our favorite garments from Supreme are embroidered. Unlike screen printing, embroidery is high quality. It uses specialized machines to stitch individual threads into our garments, creating three-dimensional, highly detailed, and expensive-ass pieces that we can't get enough of. And at the top of the embroidery food chain, at least right now for Supreme, is none other than AOI Industries. He's been dropping collabs with Supreme for years now, and courtesy of Supreme Drops, we have an entire thread to break down every single Supreme x AOI embroidery collaboration so we can get prepared for the upcoming drop for spring/summer 2025. So if you guys enjoy Supreme streetwear or just embroidery content, be sure to hit like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 5,000 subscribers, and I have a huge giveaway planned for that. And with all that out of the way, let's peep some AOI embroideries. All right, boys, here we go. I'm recording this Monday morning at 5:55 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we do not have the week 13 drop list out quite yet. So here we are with a throwback Supreme Drops thread. Pretty sure you guys are following Supreme Drops on Twitter. He's the homie who's hooked me up with exclusive information. He hooks everybody up with the partial and full drop list every single week. Even though the prices aren't 100% accurate, he holds it down. So shout out to Supreme Drops. And here is a thread he came out with this weekend talking about AOI Industries. Let's read it. AOI Industries takes Japanese embroidery to a new level with Supreme every season. And this year is no exception, with some insane upcoming pieces I think you guys know about. Considering how much AOI was featured in Supreme collections in recent years, he figured it was a good time to look back at all the items that they've designed together. Let's look. First up here, we got the Supreme 4 World Peace jacket that came out a season or two ago. I'm always horrible at remembering exactly when. These are the last 3 big jackets that came out, and I liked this one a lot. It also came out with a beanie. I think people's favorite one was the Eyes work jacket, and we'll definitely take a peek over on StockX towards the end of the video and see which is the most valuable right now. Take your guesses. I don't know. And then we also have Pandemic Business, which is just okay, kind of on the nose, but no one cares about the pandemic anymore. All right, I think we're starting from the bottom with the first few collabs. This was the Globe MA1 work jacket, and this was during my Supreme off season. A lot of you might not know, I took a break from buying Supreme from 2019 all the way until about 2022. I started back with this channel when I started buying Supreme again, so that's when I started uploading videos, after taking a long break, of course. So all this stuff here is pretty unfamiliar to me. Tiger embroidered baseball jersey, that's pretty sick. I like all the different colorways. The Globe zip up hoodie to match the zip up MA1, maybe said varsity jacket. It's a bomber jacket for sure. MA1 military style. We got to zoom in here, get a closer look. I know we're just on Twitter, so the quality isn't amazing, but there is that embroidered work, and AOI's work is definitely maximalism, which is when you go above and beyond with a lot of stuff. And I think that's just where Supreme's at right now with a lot of their trends. Of course, there is still minimalism happening here, but when you look at this Icons hoodie, this is definitely more maximalism, and it only continues to get crazier as we get further into AOI's stuff, especially with the SS25 gear. Next up, spring/summer 2022. Okay, getting back into when I was starting to look at Supreme again. Do I remember this glow-in-the-dark track jacket? Man, I don't think I started at the beginning of 2022 spring/summer. I might have just missed this. If this was before the Burberry collab, I would have missed it, but this is really nice, especially that it's glow-in-the-dark. Man, here we go. Icons long sleeve top, spring/summer 23. This is pretty nice. Nothing on the front, just on the sleeves. Of course, I remember the Buddha right here, one of my favorites. I love Eastern yoga, Buddhism, all that kind of philosophy and iconography I think is really cool. I have this pin on one of my bucket hats. I would have liked the sweatshirt too, decided not to get it. Hey, there's my Buddha pin. So I am in fact cool. I have the Buddha pin. We're rocking and rolling. Next up, the Peace embroidered work jacket. I call it the World Peace because it's the world right there. This thing's super dope. Fall winter 23, man. Time flies, guys. It's 2025 already. This piece does not feel almost 2 years old, but it will be this fall, which is insane to think about. It came out with the beanie as well. Let's keep moving on. Next up, the Spell Out 5 panel, Fall Winter 23. I totally forgot about this piece. Sure, it's definitely a hat that AOI made. Here is that probably most popular work jacket. I thought this was the eyes one with the eyes in the front. Maybe it is and we just don't see it from this angle. I think so because it's spring summer 24. We have the Oni Demon Zero 94 On the side, Supreme. Yep, the American flag. It's kind of hit or miss for me when they put all the stores, but when you're maximizing as many embroideries as possible, fuck it. Let's go all the way with the AOI hooded work jacket. Here is the Eyes short sleeve work shirt. I liked this for the eye graphic. 1-800 Supreme, not as much. And then the zip up hooded sweatshirt. I wasn't huge on this, but I know a lot of other people were. And I think this will probably be selling for a good amount, but we'll have to check that out here in a second at the end of the video. All right, next up, the AOI quilted work jacket pandemic business fall winter 24. This was the last AOI work jacket to release, and I think it was the least popular. I didn't see a lot of people in the chat or comments when it came out. I know some of you copped this, but I don't see people talking about it too much. It's not that it's a forgettable design. I just think the pandemic business came out at the wrong time. If this came out in 2021, maybe it would have been a lot hotter. Just my opinion, and they can't all be winners. Stacked hooded sweatshirt, similar boat for me. It's a nice embroidery, but just because something's embroidered doesn't mean that it's absolutely fire. And I think that's one thing that some people can get carried away with. Embroidery is cool. I like nice stitching, good quality. It is better than screen printing in a lot of circumstances, but just because something is embroidered doesn't mean it's necessarily better because it's stitched. The design still has to be good. Let's get back to the pieces. Chugging right along, in his thread, he forgot a few pieces that AOI also came out with. These are the fall winter 21 Eyes hoodies, and boy oh boy, if I had known these were coming out, I would have absolutely copped this. This is probably my favorite AOI hoodie that I've ever seen, and I didn't know this piece was real until today. Supreme is just awesome like that. It has a huge archive that even if you're a diehard fan, you take a year or two off, you're gonna miss some stuff. I think these are a great design, big graphic, sparkle, good colorway, a mix up of different eye colors on the hoodies. It's everything that makes a great piece. 10 out of 10. We also had the SS22 sticky molded lamp, which I totally forgot that this is AOI. He's not just an embroidered guy. He did make this sticky lamp, which I did not cop, and do I regret copping it? Maybe a little bit. Some of these Supreme lamps are fairly cool, but at a certain point I gotta say enough is enough because I don't have that much space in my 1-bedroom apartment. Apparently we also had these Nalgene character bottles. I have no idea what these are from. I don't remember these at all. Spring Summer 22. I probably wasn't covering Supreme as in depth at the time, but we do have the sticky lamp, the ghost, Supreme, bunch of characters. Do you have this water bottle? I didn't even know it was AOI. I didn't even know it was real. Let's keep it going. All right, 2 items left. These are individually tweeted out because Drops forgot a number of AOI items, which is totally fine. I couldn't imagine doing these threads and remembering everything. But this is the NYC police car on fire with the clean Supreme logo beneath it. Simple, to the point, meaningful artwork, dope embroidery, and on the back of a nice work jacket, trucker jacket. We need to see the front of this thing, but it's very cool. We also have the Supreme Cupid Angel embroidered design with the small Supreme logo. I'm not huge on these mini embroideries, but it's a nice design. Probably came out with a lot of colors. It looked like that character was on the Nalgene bottle, so that makes sense that it's AOI. And last but not least, we have the Trucker Quit Your Job Special 1888 Supreme. You got the big old semi 18-wheeler on the quilted work jacket. You love to see it in blue and black. Man, AOI has made way more items than I thought. But before we finish, let's look at what we got from this season. We got the AOI hooded work jacket. Bam, people want it, people need it. It's the insane fire camo. I mean, the biggest embroidery he's ever done. This piece, as it gets closer to release, I just know is gonna bang. I personally like the black one a lot more, but people are definitely gonna go for that flame. We have this bomber jacket as well, the trauma unit. This one is pretty sick. It's got this Sherpa collar, zipper on the side, a dog attacking a criminal there, which is super sick. NYTO established 94. This one is super dope. The K9, yeah, insane. The dog even has a Supreme vest on it right there. Look at that. It's wearing that K9 harness and it's got a box logo on it, so hell yeah. Can't forget about this hat. If you want the AOI stuff, you don't want the crazy jacket, this is the budget special here. And I think it's just as cool. Definitely gonna be one of the more sought after hats and gonna resell for a good amount. And speaking of resale, let's just quickly go to StockX analyze some AOI prices, and then we can get out of here, okay? All right, I couldn't find all of them, but here we go. We got the AOI hooded work jacket, and this thing was $468. And look at this. It really did sneak up into the $1,000 price range. The last sale was $1,000 for a size large. I mean, they're not all that much. We've seen some for 400, 700, 700. I think 1,000 is way inflated, but people have paid that much for this hooded work jacket. And is the one that's coming out better? It might be. So if this is any indicator, you guys should definitely buy this Supreme AOI hooded work jacket coming out. Well, here you go. Of course, StockX is not the end-all be-all of resale websites. There's eBay, Grailed, Facebook Marketplace, and just look at the difference of the pandemic business. People did not like this thing. It was $298, and yeah, the last sale $305. Way less volume, good amount under retail. Some of them double XLs 500, of course, but there you go, not sought after as much. The brown one does have higher asks, but in terms of sales, even less volume than the black pandemic business. And like I said, we don't have all of them, but here's the AOI zip up hooded sweatshirt. The one that I said I didn't love as much still has people buying it. You got the lowest asks here. Glow in the dark track pants, rarer because it came out 3 years ago, so the asks are there. No sales really. One went for $150 kind of recently, then it's $476, so there's lots of volatility on these ones. But that is one of the difficult things about archive Supreme pieces. There's so many different size combinations and colorways. It can be difficult to get a read on the market, so sometimes it's just good to find someone who has it and maybe they've worn it a little bit and they're willing to get rid of it. This guy, $98, selling in the $200, $150 price range, not too much. This came out in 23. You just got to find the right size, the right colorway, the right seller, and 9 times out of 10, StockX is going to be probably pretty damn inflated. When you look at this thing, 2021, $168 retail. Look at the lowest asks in the 400s. Last sale though, only $192. So the asks do not match the sales at all. And the last sale was 24. Then it was 23, and then it was the fall-winter 2022 season. Even though the asks are high, not as sought after, and I wish there was more stuff here on StockX, but as you can see, I ran out of Supreme AOI once we went on page 2. There's probably more available here, but again, it's just not the best website for searching for Supreme. Alright boys, that's everything I wanted to say about Supreme and AOI. Thanks again to Supreme Drops for that awesome thread. I discovered some new pieces today that I didn't know existed, so shout out to Drops and shout out to AOI for creating some awesome embroidered designs for us to fawn over and resell and get excited about. So far it looks like that hooded eyes work jacket from fall winter 23 is the most expensive AOI on the market right now. Will this embroidered hooded work jacket from this season surpass that? I think it has the possibility to, but we'll have to just wait and see, and the retail price will definitely be a factor. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today. What's your favorite Supreme AOI embroidery of all time? Let me know in the comment section down below. It's been your boy Thomas, and I'm out. Peace.